Welcome back, indie lovers. Today we're checking out Foretales, so go and grab yourself a plate. I got a chance to check a demo that was out like a year ago. It was really cool, year and a half ago. It was really cool, and this actually fell onto my plate because I actually had a Humble bundle that had this in it, and I really wanted to check out the full game, and I really want you guys to be able to see the game as well, because this is quite a cool little game. So we're going to hop in here and check out the game for a while. If you do like it, of course, please check the links down below as always. Let's get rolling here. Are you sure you want to start a new game? Of course. Do I look like I'm wrong? A mysterious patron. Volpan needs money to help his father and the local miners. His friend Leo says there's someone in town with a very lucrative job offer. So this is going to play out through cards, just so you guys know. An adventure game where you progress by combining cards and exploring decks. This is it, Volpan, our ticket to the easy life. One last job in our days of stealing apples from the marketer behind us. That's what you said last time, so who is this contact of yours? His name's Timothy. He says he has worked for people like us. And you're sure he could pay? Because I could really do with the money right now. Don't worry, he promised a hefty reward. Should be more than enough to help your father and the miners with their strike, and for me to take an early retirement. He's just a little difficult to track down in town sometimes. We better ask around then.
He looks like a good place to start.
Good day to you, young bird. How can I be of assistance? We're looking for someone by the name of Timothy. I see. A very secretive fellow he is. I think I heard something about him the other day, but sadly my memory isn't what it once was. Right, and what might jog your memory, I wonder? A bite to eat usually does the trick. About 5 should be sufficient. 5? That's enough to last a few days. Ignore my friend here. We'll come back with some food for you. We already have 1, so there's 4 to go. A typical region of the game is composed of 3 to 6 location cards placed on the board. You can learn more by hovering your cursor over a card. Sometimes the cards will also trigger dialogue or a reaction from your characters. Try it out for yourself on the left card with the beggar. He will remind you of what he wants. Would you spare a morsel of food for an old beggar? This is demanding work for an old man like me. I'd like to see you try. Yeah, you'll get your food alright. You have 2 types of action cards at your disposal. Seal cards, which is down here. Skill cards of your adventurers, and consumables. Targets will often be location cards, but not always. When you hover over one of your cards, the possible targets are highlighted along with hints as to what will happen if you play there. So pay attention to what is highlighted and where the hints appear. Conversely, if you place your cursor over elements of the board, it will highlight the action cards you can play here. Take a moment to explore your current cards and see if you can figure out the way to enough food to proceed. So I could pay for it. Don't be fooled by his jolly banter. He is much a gossip as he is a merchant. On the scent. Survivors, there's food everywhere if you know where to look. You're born with nothing. You have to steal what you can survive. If you're lucky, you'll survive long enough to get pretty good. If I do that... This gives me a card though. Adds 1 creature to your search party.
Ho ho ho! What have you got there?
No point in letting it go to waste. A thief! Guards! Yeah. Oh.
Popular fella, aren't you, Volpan?
Might not be the good thing here.
Ah, damn small town.
One very important rule to play, or to remember, you can only play 1 card per location card of the board. Sometimes it will transform the target card into another, but most of the time it will just consume it and travel to the next card. A standard use card from the board will go back to the bottom of the exploration deck. And once a slot is available, it will automatically be filled with the top card from the exploration deck. You can't run out of location cards to explore because the exploration deck always cycles. Solidarity of the weak. The poor, the weak, and the needy must stick together to survive. Volpan can inspire compassion to attract potential allies. My poor friend here, take this.
Well, how very altruistic.
Let's see what the guy knows. Lead the way. A group of representatives of the law. In order to play a card on the card they keep, you have to get rid of them, and violence is not the only solution. Oh. Let's get some food. Thank you, young bird. Now about this Timothy chap. But of course, where are my manners? Here, follow this path.
That should show the way. Well, how very altruistic.
Thanks for the tip, friend. A good day to you, bird. Whoa, what now? I suppose we should follow this old beggar's direction on that piece of paper. Sometimes you'll have to seek directions to progress in the story and reach new destinations. Check the descriptions on your cards. That piece of paper? Yeah, that one. Ooh, it's a fight. Beware, a hostile token is blocking this card. You won't be able to play any cards on the suspicious street until you get rid of those bandits. If you click on the token, you can see the creatures form in the group and decide whether to engage or not. Most confrontations start with a negotiation phase. If you have the correct resources, you might be able to discard this this threat without any violence. But if you don't absolutely need to play a card here, you may as well avoid any conflict and play on the other cards available. Oh. Here are the enemies watching this location. This is a good spot to refill our canteens. Smells something good. Leo, what? I'm hungry. A deadly shot in combat that could also take out enemies from a distance without raising an alarm. There's food everywhere if you know where to look. Right on time, I'm starving.
Well, I don't know about you, but my mouth is watering.
There we go. I was like, I definitely keep going back to the same thing. An inspiring call to arms that draws the potential allies in the area. Ooh. Yeah, let's do that. Over here. Leo's mighty roar drew a crowd of curious townsfolk. Curiosity may have killed the ad, but never fails to draw a crowd. Oh, you could shoot at them?
Want any trouble.
You started your first confrontation, but maybe there's no need for violence? When you hover over the cards at your disposal, you may discover ways to get rid of some of your opponents. If you get rid of enough opponents, you'll bring the morale of the group down to 0 and the rest will flee. If you use an aggressive card, the confrontation will automatically turn into a fight. But if you don't have any cards to play, you don't want to play any cards, click on the auto battle token to trigger the fight manually. You can learn a lot when you take time to stop and listen. Ooh, that's engaged combat though. Now on both sides will automatically attack the opponent directly opposite of them or to the left if no one is directly in front of them. Between each round of attack, you can play 1 card per adventurer. Again, if you don't want to play cards, you can use the auto battle token.
Anyone going to check their pulse?
An enemy was just removed from the confrontation. In most cases, this will subtract its level from the enemy's morale. Should the enemy morale reach 0, the remaining hostiles will flee. The number of an enemy is the number of the top left corner. Okay. Like that. But if it's 0.
Live by the sword, die by the sword.
You brought the enemy morale to 0. All remaining hostiles will now flee for their lives. When you trigger a panic, each fleeing enemy will grant you 1.
Cowards.
Very nice. Oh, would you look at that? Something smells good. Oh, it brought me there. At least one of your adventurers is down to their last few skill cards. Maybe you can use the rest deck to recover some. Since rest cards will give skill cards back to all adventurers, it's often a good idea to use actions from all your adventurers and not just one. If you spread the effort between them, you won't have to rest as often.
Don't they know there are thieves in this area?
Oh, I just stole from him. I love it.
Ah, bandits! Lovely.
Can it care to help a young bird down on his luck? Help with what? Usual suspect. They slit your throat if you so much as look at them the wrong way, but get on their good side and they can make it useful allies. Oh. Now this could come in handy. Oh, I like that. I got items from that, huh? I feel like I get past this.
Though the guards looked angry, it was nothing a few coins couldn't fix. Smart. We certainly don't need the cops after us.
Yeah, I was gonna say. The population areas are in dire need of help, but can also offer assistance if they ask nicely. You can learn a lot. People keep mentioning a tavern nearby. Food, drink, good company. What more could shopping young adventurer need? Over here. Does that bring the crowd again? It does. Pirates of the people. Wait, I'm on your side. Bunch of riders. That doesn't take long to transform the downtrodden people of the Hard Republic into angry mobs. These fools really believe the civil law can stop Volpain? Haha. The directions start from the marketplace. Oh, so I gotta go to the marketplace. Gotcha. A good deed can open many doors. Having the respect of the community is always a good thing to achieve. I use my grim murder. We're heading out. I'm itching for some action. You recruited at least one fighting ally. Allies can be used on your adventure cards during fights. They will add their attack score to the attack of the adventurer for as long as they survive. Depending on the type of ally, they will position themselves in front of or behind your adventurer. Front allies add a layer of protection and preserve your health, but may not survive the whole fight. Allies in the back will only serve as support to increase the attack, but they are more likely to survive until the end of the confrontation. Whether they survive or not, allies used in the combat are discarded at the end of the competition. Oh, cool. Oh god, you could kill the apple merchant?
Ah, delicious.
Right on time, I'm starving. There's the marketplace right there. That's what I wanted. Well? Is it a well? Now how about for the juicy piece of gossip? Okay. Nasty little secret. A little story that could be devastating to someone's reputation and became to light. Can be traded with allies and or used to blackmail enemies. Ooh. Tavern Brawl.
Seems you've attracted some heat, Volpan.
Oh no. Let's rest. These are rest cards left in the region. You can roll over all cards that discover their effects, but you only use one in the top card. Oh, so you can consume food to heal. Okay. Let's get back to the marketplace. It's not an official way to travel. Skill cards no effect in a particular location or counter. Okay, that's marketplace.
Oh, this could get messy. The City Watch were famously corrupt. One simply had to find the right bargaining chip. No autographs, please.
Dude, we're famous. Okay, there's a marketplace. Ah, there we go.
Well, turned out nice again.
A heavily bandaged figure stood alone in the alleyway. He looked like he was waiting for somebody. As Volpain and Leo approached, the figure turned to greet them. Ah, Leo, so you're finally here and you brought the crow. I'm a shoebill. Of course you are. We heard you have work. Do I ever, but before we get down to brass tacks, I always like to get an understanding of who it is I'm working with. What do you mean? I'd like a demonstration of the value you bring to this operation. Demonstration? Yes, you know, skills, my boy. Show me your skills. The pair looked at each other, perplexed. Skills in combat, sleight of hand, or maybe just a good old trick shot from Leo? Probably a trick shot. At one seeing this motion, Leo pulled out his bow and let fly an arrow straight with the lever. Timothy felt a whoosh of air as the hat flew clean off his head. By the time he turned around, he was already pinned to the nearby tree. How's that for a demonstration? A little dramatic, but a fine shot nonetheless. Timothy turned around, picked up his hat, and placed it carefully back in his head. Well, I've certainly seen enough to pique my interest. Perhaps you could tell us what it was you needed. I would like for the two of you to acquire an item for me. A very rare and beautiful lyre, currently in the possession of Lady Kettel. You mean the old bat who lives on the hill? I wouldn't call her that to her face. But yes, that's her. I'd like to see you break into her manor, steal the lyre, and bring it to me at the Holy Grove. The Holy Grove? I know the place well. I'll get you there myself, Volpain. Excellent, then I just leave you to it. Alright, we've got a job to do, at long last. We can get straight to it if you think we're ready to go. Or we could spend some more time on the streets to prepare. It's your call. Actually, how about a small nap before we set off? You read my mind. Remember, you only have a limited number of skill cards in your adventurer's deck. Spending too many of their skill cards will tire them out. If you want to recover some skill cards, you have to use rest cards on the right hand side of the board. Each rest card has its own set of effects and sometimes a price that you can decide to pay or not. Read them carefully to see what they cost. Go on, click on the rest deck and try to use your first rest card.
Something tells me these chaps aren't here to discuss pickpocketing techniques. Oh, you ever have a nap so good that you forget that the world is ending?
Feel better? You recovered some skill cards and suffered no other consequences. Don't expect it to be that easy all the time. The next card in the deck costs you food or health. And the last card, the rest, is always a game over, so be sure to check out how many times you could hope to rest in a region. Once you move on to the next region, the rest card will be replaced with a new set of cards. And the number of rest cards in the next region is independent of how much you've used here. If you've completed this region, you can either proceed to the next region, or you might want to spend some more time here with gather resources and allies. Beware, consumables and resources are carried over from the region to the next, but they are not carried over from one mission to the next, so there's no need to hoard exclusively. Oh, I love that. I love that mission. Oh, I love that animation. I got a lot of food. Just saying, I have a lot of food.
Nap so good that you forget that the world is ending.
I have, actually. Oh, what's that, though? Deal 1 damage to skill owner. Oh, crap. You can heal yourself here. They want to move on. And I actually had to head off to work, but I wanted to showcase this game to you because it's super cool. I really, really enjoy it. I hope you guys did too. Thank you so much for joining me for the Indie Buffet, folks, where we help you find your next favorite indie. Peace.